Hello, YouTube. Hello, Star Citizen. This is Captain Frank Hawks. And as you could probably tell, we are going to do another itty-bitty little bitch fest and a bit of a review of a couple of new ships. Today, we're going to be talking about the MISC Freelancer and the notorious Drake Interplanetary Cutlass Black. Now, if you won't mind, I will hop back into my body and we will continue. I really did choose an ugly face, didn't I? Yes, I did. Yes, I did. Alright. We are in the Revel and York hangar. And we've got quite a bit to talk about. And that's if the elevator will ever arrive. Here comes Revel and York. There. And some nice advertising for some pretty cool hangars, even though it's pretty much bleach white and it looks kind of gross. Wow, these glass panes, they really need to be cleaned. I really should get them made and clean these. They're absolutely abhorrent. Anyways, as you know, I do have 5 points. We are going to discuss them. But first, a solid exterior look. It is basically a beefier version of the original. There is a lot going for this craft. I'm personally looking forward to the Cutlass Red. It does, of course, now have side doors. This ship is supposed to be... let's go on the other side since there's something blocking. Running around, running around, running around. Still has helmet sound even though I have my helmet off. Weird. This ship is marked as a pirating vessel, or at least it originally was. I would not define it as this because a pirate is not going to go to what is automatically named a pirating ship. A pirate is going to go to what a pirate thinks is best for him or her. A pirate is going to choose a ship that has optimal weapons, that has at least a small amount of cargo, personnel space, and the ability to deploy not only weapons, but personnel with weapons to conduct piracy. See how that works? Douchebaggery, piracy. Okay. Let's talk about ramps. As you might have noted yesterday, I have a problem with ramps. Now, do please understand there is still the minor glitch. You cannot place a ship without damage value. So, please excuse the mess. Let's talk about ramps again. See how it kind of goes into the ground? I don't like that. So, the problem with ramps is if this is your only point of entry, if you park and the nose is further down than the rear is, it all of a sudden makes it more difficult to re-enter the ship via a ramp. Now, mind you, the Cutlass does not have as much of a problem there. I don't really know why. It just seems to balance out. And it is small enough that you have a greater ability to hop in. So, of course, there's going to be a damaged state. It's going to be ugly in here. I'm going to open everything up for no other purpose than lighting's sake. You have to be closer. And I am, of course, going to go turn the power on, which will allow us to talk about something that I feel is important in a spaceship. But we'll get to the cockpit here in a minute. It is more of a cockpit than it is anything
Hello,
else.
welcome aboard your Drake interplanetary craft.
But
Your
we'll
systems
talk about
are
that
online.
a little bit later. I just wanted to make sure the power was on, so that the lights would be on so that we could see some things. Okay, first of all, we have 6 dinky seats back here. Now, I'm not one to bitch, but couldn't we have... Well, yeah, I am actually. Couldn't we have put a middle rung of seats, moving 6 to 12? Couldn't that be possible? I know there are going to be a lot of people, but where do you park your bike in this thing? I don't think so. So, this is the cargo-y area. It's not much to look at. It's kind of dank, but mind you, this is the Drake Interplanetary business of making sure that you buy far less than you actually spent on. Now, I don't know what this is supposed to be, but really, this should be a view screen. And as you might notice, the entry to the turret is on the other side, which makes no sense at all whatsoever. You're going to have personnel back here doing various things, and one of them may need to get into the turret, and yet that's not available. But on this other side. Now, as you might notice, there's really not a lot to talk about back here aside from the seats. There is not a lot here that should be here. Like, for instance, weapons racks should not be in this area. The cockpit/living area. Instead, they should be in here, where you're going to have personnel who are going to need to pull weapons and go shoot things and piracy and yar. I think the cat's getting into something. I don't mind these little lockers. It's just I think that they should be on that wall, and I should think that there should be a third wall here. Okay? Let's talk about degrees of separation. Okay? When we're discussing degrees of... Oh, look, it's not in the ground anymore. What the hell? Okay, when we're talking degrees of separation, what we are talking about is the degrees of separation from decompression. Okay? So, if this rear area would be 1... Okay. And then there's 2 degrees of separation. Okay. And that's it. And in my opinion, there should at all times be 3 degrees of separation from decompression. Now, having a little wall here that cuts off the living area would be handy, because that could count as a 3rd degree of separation while you and your people have a place to be. Now, in this instance, bunk beds work, and I'm not going to complain about the bunk beds. I'm not going to get in them, because unless you're in the persistent universe, they don't work. Let's check out the turret, since we have not had a turret to check out before. Since there is not a button to push, we will just do that. Okay, so my primary problem with all Drake objects of any kind is the lack of mobile visibility. There is literally a horizon line, and that horizon line lines up with your sights. Now, that works in a turret. It does. It does not work in a cockpit. If I can get out. Can we get out? Exit? Yes, please. Here we go. Alright, and back to the cockpit. Because, really, on a ship like this, there's not much to talk about. It does have a decent amount of cargo space. It does have a decent amount of firepower. It does have a lot going for it. But it also, in my opinion, is poorly designed. It was redesigned for the purpose of the repair of a bad design, and they compounded that with another bad design. There is only a single degree of decompression, and we're going to talk about windows again. Look at these huge window frame bars. This is the far-flung future. 24 something, I think. Could be 23. Could be 25. And yet, here we are having these huge window panes with presumably thick glass that obviously is a different color on the outside than it is on the inside, which is not bad. This is unacceptable. This reduces visibility to an almost zero as far as peripheral vision is concerned. And peripheral vision in this game is extremely important. No visibility. Look, I can... Here, we'll hit Z so that I can look around. Z. Okay, there we go. That's better. I have to do this to be able to look to my right or to look down. And once again, we have objects blocking the potential for landing view. Okay, and there is really only so much that you can do as far as a ship's design is concerned. But I want to show you something right now, if I can. Where is the exit? Exit, please. The co-pilot seat has a greater radius of view. I don't have to crank my head all the way to the left or the right to see out of the ship. I don't have these huge window pane bars blocking my view. I can see clearly, and this is what the pilot seat should be able to do. Okay? Now let's check down. There's still a lot blocked down. There really is. But you can actually see the very cool apparati responsible for the raising and lowering of the seat. Okay, so let's talk about the 5 points where this ship is concerned. Let's go ahead and get out and talk about it before I change it out. Because as far as the features of the ship, there really isn't much. It's not that much different than the Avenger Titan. Now, the reason why I ended up doing this in this lopsided way is because I could not put both ships in the same space without one being backed up to the ass of the other. And they're both pretty much rear entry. So this is the way I ended up having to do it. For consistency's sake, I will have the Freelancer mostly on the other side of the hangar. The Cutlass Black. Purpose of design. I would refer to this as a utility vessel. It's got good armor, good combat, good cargo. Oh, excuse me. Good personnel storage, sleeping quarters, no kitchenette, no coffee maker. I'm pissed, CIG. I am pissed. there always must be some form of caffeine libation readily makeable. Okay? Okay. So, purpose of design, utility. Honestly, it fits really well in the parameters of what a pirate ship should be, as far as I am concerned. It's got great flight profiles. It has shitty visibility, which it really should not have. It has good weaponry to start and a lot of weapon placements. It's got, let's see if I can clearly show this. It's got weapons on the turrets. It's got weapons above the wing, below the wing, and all the way back there where the engine is. It's got 6 weapon mounts, and we're not even talking about its missiles yet. Okay? It's got a lot of weapon placement and a lot of missile placement, and there is a lot that you can do with this ship. Okay? This ship is mean. Really mean. Success of design. I will give you a 4 out of 5. The design is okay, but there needs to be some solid fixes. Some solid moving around of objects. There's no reason why the gun rack should be in the cockpit area, and there is no reason why there should not be a sealed living area. Okay? All right. Success of design, I said a 4 out of 5. Playstyle. Anything you really can imagine. You can do cargo runs with this. You can do search and rescue with this. You can do piracy with this. It really fits the bill. It really does. I would be a lot happier if it had a greater degree of visibility. The redesign is... Whoop, I ran into some... This is why I don't like this one. The redesign really is solid. It is what it ought to have been in its original design. It's a solid ship. It really is a solid vessel. And honestly, not one I'm ever interested in. The lack of visibility by itself is enough for me to say no. And that's saying something, because the other ship that we will be talking about has a greater lack of visibility, and yet I would select that ship over this ship regardless. Is it fun? Absolutely it is fun. On the fun scale, I would give it a 5 out of 5. This ship will do whatever you ask of it. It is a fun ship. It is probably one of the most stolen ships in Star Citizen currently. Really, honestly, it is. People steal it for fun. Is it worth it? I, once again, will give it a number or a rating variable. I will give it a 3 out of 5. It is mostly worth it. I would not say that it is completely worth it. There are better ships for the price point. And honestly, when you show up in this ship, people question your intention. And that alone is enough for it to not be worth it. If you want to run cargo, if you want to be safe, if you want to do it with a buddy or a couple of buddies, this is the ship for you. All right, moving on to the next vehicle in question. Where is the dot? There is the dot. Also, anytime you can get under a ship is good, in my opinion. You'll find out why. Alright, we're going to move over to the Freelancer, and we need to get the hell out of here while it loads, because the longer you're under there, the more the damage there is. I don't really know why. So, let's open this up, turn on the lights, talk about it. This is the ship I have had the largest problem with the ramp. Okay, CIG, here's what you need to promise me. You need to promise me that you will do ramps better. Essentially speaking, what needs to happen is the ramp needs to fit the rear of the vessel. This one does, like most of them do. But also, whenever it comes out, it needs to be able to detect where the ground is and extend the ramp pertinent to that. Then and only then will ramps 100% work. Nice big blocky ramp. Let's check out... no, we should turn on the power to the vessel first, because right now it's dark except for that wall, which is weird. There will, of course, be a damage state. And then we're going to talk about a few things. No. Hey, can I access the power without... No. That's not what I'm looking for, kiddo. I'm on the dashboard. No. Fine, let's sit down in the seat.
Hello. How can MISC help you today? Systems on.
I'm trying to exit. Can I exit? Exit. Okay. Now, let's talk about this ship. This ship irks me, to be completely frank. The original design of the ship made it look something more along the lines of an airplane and a spaceship had a baby. The baby was really fucking awesome, could go to space and carry cargo and kick ass! Now, we have the silver turd. I do not like a redesign if the redesign goes to an effort to make a ship look uglier than its original design. This ship looks uglier than its original design, and it's the reason why I will not fly it. Because I'm in protest. I loved the original design of the Freelancer. I love to be on them. I love to steal them. Yes, I stole quite a few of these. I love to fly them around, even with their shitty visibility. Once again, we have the huge window pane bars, which should not exist at all whatsoever. Half of the front of this should be windshield, like the Prospector. But no. Okay, let's check out the turret like last time, because it does have a turret on it, and I do have a complaint about it. Dude. Now, in this turret, we have really good visibility. We really do. To a point. See? It's better visibility than the Cutlasses, but I've seen better, to be frank. I have seen much better, and I'm looking forward to better on the Carrack. Okay, let's exit. And since you're deciding to show me space as opposed to the actual hangar, I'm going to close you if you close the same way as you used. No, you don't. Weird. Yeah, I don't like that. So let's talk about cargo. In comparison to the Cutlass Black, this ship is able to carry a lot more cargo, but you wouldn't know it by looking at it. It stacks it all the way to the ceiling and as wide as the line is. Okay? So when you're looking at this, don't just look at the magnetics. Actually look at the dotted or red line, because that says how far the cargo will go. Now, wait. 1 degree. 2 degrees. More cargo space, as you can plainly see. 3 degrees. They fucked it up. It's back to 1 degree. 2 degrees. At all times in a spaceship, there should be 3 degrees of separation from the cockpit to being decompressed. Okay? Holds a lot of cargo, a whole bunch of cargo, all the way up to the ceiling cargo. We have a living area that does not either have a kitchen or a shitter or a shower. This, by the way, also used to have a point of entry there. Arg. Okay, CIG. Anytime there are metal bars running through a bed, it's a shitty bed. Okay, and a shady bed. Okay? That's torture on somebody's lower lumbar. And I would very much like to know, why is there the need for 4 co-pilots? This should be a 2-pilot thing. Also, one of my biggest pet peeves about this ship, there is more viewability out the top of this ship than there is necessary. Okay, I'm sure it's nice to have a skylight, to have the people behind you be like, hey boss, there's somebody above us. But honestly, that's a bit out of control. And there is 0 viewability at your feet. You cannot see how and where you're landing. Okay, so let's get in the seat and I'll show you a couple of things. Hey. Alright, let's take a look around. I don't even get the same benefit out of the pilot seat that I get out of the Cutlass. If I crank my head all the way to this direction, I don't see shit. I see pretty good this way because of how the thing is set up. Look at the depth of this dashboard. It is wholly and entirely unnecessary to have a dashboard this big. And CIG, stop repeating HUD elements in the dashboard. It's not necessary. Where's my comms? This is over here, so why is it needed there? This is over here, so why is it needed there? It is completely non-functional. And nothing above our heads, so whatever. Would take too long to look up there anyways. Excuse me. Seem to be a little tired this morning. All in all, the redesign is a disappointment in my opinion. I am not looking over there. I want to exit! That's another problem. The other seats apply a degree of interference when moving around. Honest to God, on a ship of this size, there should be a central piloting seat, and if you want to have it, if you want to have additional seats, there should be a first co-pilot and a secondary co-pilot, like there is on an Andromeda, a constellation Andromeda. Really, just like the Cutlass, there isn't much to this ship. There really isn't. Okay, let's get to the points. Purpose of design. I would call this a trucker ship. I would call this a ship intended specifically to haul cargo and to haul it safely. Success of design. I will give it a 2 out of 5. I think it has plenty of cargo space. I think it could have a lot more, especially considering the side door. I think that it needs to have a greater range. And I think that it deserves to go back to its cool look, as opposed to looking like the silver turd that it is now. And it has this spoiler on the back, right over here, that blocks the ability of the turret to face forward and fire forward with the pilot. That's a problem. Okay? I would consider the redesign of the Freelancer a failure. It is a very good ship. It will give you a lot of fun. You will be able to do a lot with it. Playstyle. I would use this as a pirating ship. I would. I would also use this as a cargo vessel. A cargo hauler. And considering the fact that currently cargo is broken in Star Citizen, there is no real reason to own one. Which is sad. This used to be this marvelous, majestic vehicle. It's not anymore. And I'm disappointed in that. Is it fun? Absolutely it's fun. The MISC Freelancer flies better than you can imagine. It's a very smooth ride. You've got a lot of weapons. 4 really, really big weapons. Let's see if they are size 3s. I believe they are size 3 weapons. But I would like a closer look. Can we get a... Where's the dot? Where's the dot, you pansy? Here, I know how. Let's go over here. Let's select the Freelancer. Weaponry. Yes, they are, I believe, size 3s. Where are you? Size 3. Yes, they are size 3 weapons. So big guns, lots and lots of firepower. I would not want to come head to head with a Freelancer. Excuse me. Even if I was in a Cutlass Black that is more maneuverable, that has a greater number of weapons and has more firepower, I would not want to come up against a Freelancer in a Cutlass Black. I would not want to come up against a Freelancer in anything short of a Constellation. Anything, really. A Constellation, anything. What else? Is it worth it? In its current state, no. In its current state, absolutely not. A ship has to be more than functional. Cloud Imperium has to be more than functional. It has to look good. And of all the ships in the verse, the MISC Freelancer in all of its variants deserves to have its good looks back. It's heartbreaking. And it is a major disappointment. And it's not just its looks. Its looks give to functionality. And right now its functionality is at the halfway point of its potential because of the crappy redesign. There is a lot more this ship could offer. Okay, and another thing, CIG, and I really am tired of saying this, even though I haven't said it in a video before. I should be able to shut and lock this in a single go. I should be able to come in here, shut it and lock it, and there be no other points of entry. It's not necessary in a Freelancer. Where's the dot? Ah! I'm in the guts. No! There's the dot. Let's go ahead and get rid of you. I also very much would like to talk about another ship real quick, if I can line up with the dot. I talked about it yesterday, and I was mistaken about something. We're going this way. And I just kind of want to correct that because I experienced it in a video, and that video was glitchy as hell, and nobody else could really see anything. I'm sure of it. This area, where the cargo is, it fills up this entire chamber by 2 rows. So I was mistaken on that subject. This thing carries 8 SCU of cargo, which I'm still not sure if means anything yet. It does a really good job of carrying cargo. I didn't notice that vid thing up there last time. Anyways, guys, if you're just starting off, I would get one of the packages, and I would upgrade to the Aegis Dynamic Avenger Titan, the courier model. This thing will serve you well. It fights well. It carries cargo well. It's a good ship. It really is. I can't state it enough. It is a good ship for what it is. So anyways, other than that, minor correction. Let's go ahead and get rid of you, and we will get out of Moby-Glass. Anyways, guys, thank you for dropping by and watching my bitch fest on the Drake Interplanetary Cutlass Black and the MISC Freelancer. I really do appreciate it. Please like, please subscribe. I need help here. If you want to see more videos like this, I need to hear from you. I will be better reviewing my videos in the future to make sure that their quality is on point. I've kind of decided to leave that Star Citizen Fans We Need to Talk video the way it is kind of a bit of poetry, because the entire time I'm talking about what CIG needs to do and what Star Citizen ought to be right now. Down the future, it can change and grow and all of that, but right now, there needs to be reciprocation to the fans. Right now, things that are currently being worked on need to be finished. And anyways, guys, you know I love you. Have fun. Stay safe. This is Captain Frank Hawks signing out.